Hey, this is Jessica from Wandering Tent Home Place, and today I'm going to be making bone broth. So this chicken carcass has been in my slow cooker for probably about the last 36 hours on low. I made chicken and rice the other night with the whole chicken and just put the chicken bones and the chicken skin in the slow cooker with water and just let it simmer on low. So now I'm going to get all my supplies together. I'm going to get my my cans or my jars, and I'm going to put them in hot water to get them ready for the hot broth from the crock pot. And then I'm going to get my lids and put them in some hot water. And everything's already been washed. And then I'm going to get my pressure canner, I should say. So this is the pot I'm going to use to heat the jars, and then this is something that you can put, like if you're going to do a water bath in this pot, you can put this in the bottom to protect your jars. I got this in the canning section. I can't remember what it's called, but I'm going to put it in the bottom as I heat my jars. And if you're new to canning and don't know this, if you try to put hot liquid in cold jars, they will shatter. And I'm just using pint jars because I like to use this size with like cooking vegetables and adding the broth to the vegetables. Obviously, if you want a larger size, you can go with a larger size. And then I just added water. You probably don't need to put this much water in there. And then I'm going to just turn this on to, let's say, like 7. And then I'm going to start on the lids. So these lids are just going to go in a pan with some warm water. I'm just going to put them like on low, just with a little bit of water, and it kind of warms up those seals. And I only did 5 because I only have 5 jars in there so far. I don't know how much broth this is going to make. I'll probably have to reheat some. So these are the lids I'm using. They're just regular mouth lids, ball lids, and then some other tools you're going to need, like the jar tongs to pick up the hot jars, and then a funnel to put the liquid into the jars. I'm going to use this to, it's just a wire mesh to get out the skin and the bones and those kinds of things so it doesn't go into the broth. You can also use cheesecloth, but I thought that this would be easier. And then this is a magnet tipped in to pick up your hot lids. And then you always want to make sure that you are processing, whether it be water canning or pressure canning. You want to make sure you're processing your food to the proper temperature to avoid food poisoning. This is my pressure canner. It's not beautiful. I think you can clean it with vinegar if you want it to be prettier than this one. Mine just has like water stains and stuff all over it, and I'm okay with that. It serves its purpose. But one thing you do want to do each time you use your pressure canner, you want to make sure that you have, like I can see, you can't see on camera, but I can see all the way through this hole. You wouldn't want this to be clogged up, because then you stand the chance of possibly your canner exploding, and I can't even imagine how that would happen, but it would be really, really bad. And your seals, you just want to make sure that everything is in good working order and is going to function properly for safety. I'm sure that eventually over time these seals can crack and those kinds of things, and then that's when you want to either replace the whole thing, or I don't know if you can replace the seals or not. That'd be something to look into. I rinsed it out and put a couple inches of water in it, and I'll just let that warm up. I'm going to look at my blue book and see how long I should process the broth. So my directions say that I'm going to ladle hot stock into hot jars, leaving a 1-inch headspace, adjust 2-piece caps, process pints for 20 minutes quarts for 25 minutes at 10 pounds of pressure in a pressure canner. Basically at this point, I'm going to let everything heat up. I need the jars to get really hot, and you know, they need to be around the equal temperature of my broth. And then once I get them in the jars with a 1/8 headspace, they'll go into the pressure canner. I just wanted to show you, some people have pressure canners with gauges. This is a Presto. I've had it for years now. So what I'm going to do is, once I put the lid on and you get a steady stream of steam, you're going to put the pressure on, and it's going to go, this is 5 and this is 10. And once this starts to rock, I'm going to set my timer for the 20 minutes. So you'll actually hear it rocking back and forth like this with the steam coming through. Now I take a clean, lint-free rag like a tea towel and wipe the rims so that there's no oil or residue that's going to keep your lid from getting a good seal. Next, you're going to put your warm lids on your jars. Not quite like that. And then you are going to take your screw top and you're just going to hand tighten it. You don't want to make it too tight. And then I'm going to put that into the canner. And that water over there is already getting hot. Already boiling. I'm going to put the lid on. You have to line up these arrows to get it on. And then it locks into place. It has a mechanism where you can't turn it when it gets too hot. And I already have steam coming up through here. So I think I read you're supposed to wait for the steam to go do this for about 10 minutes. So I will set the timer for 10 minutes. This is all I have left in the crock pot, which is not enough to process. I'm going to go ahead and strain it, and then I'm going to just put it in the fridge for me to use. And then you can see, like, this is a bone. They become very soft, like there's no marrow left in them. And so all that really good stuff is going into your broth. And these are actually chickens that we raised and processed ourselves, so we know what's going into this as well. Now you can see that steady stream of steam, and this is, you know, one of the reasons why you want to make sure everything is in working order. Just imagine if that hole were clogged up, you'd have a serious problem. So it's been shooting up through there like a geyser for 10 minutes. I'm going to put the weight on there. That's 5 pounds and 10. And at the point it starts to rock back and forth, like I said earlier, like this, is the point where I'll actually start the timer for 20 minutes. So this is that rocking that I was talking about, and now I'll set the timer for 20 minutes. So the 20 minutes are over. I'm going to cut the burner off, and you're just going to let this cool off. A lot of times what I do is I pull off the weight. I don't know that you're supposed to do that. And if you do it, just be careful because the steam is hot and it will burn you. You don't want to even think about opening this until this thing right here is down. It won't even let you. But you wouldn't want to try that because it could be dangerous. So now some time has passed. This is cooled down. I'm going to go ahead and take these jars out with the lid off. And I am going to set them on a towel over here on the counter, and I'm going to let them rest for 24 hours, and then I will put them in the cabinet. And this is the area that I have for them to rest. I'll leave them there for 24 hours, and then I will probably take off the screw. Well, that one is coming off anyways. I'll unscrew these and then just store them with just the lids on. So that's it for my little tutorial. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like and the subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.